denied a Washington Post report claiming the agency has secretly accessed internet servers, which are the communication links between Yahoo and Google. The NSA director said Yahoo and Google work with the government, and it would be illegal for them to break into the databases. However, Yahoo and Google deny giving the NSA access to their communication links. Of course. The Affordable Care Act, Obamacare website, failed in test before launch. Really? As if we didn't know that. Well, seems the Obamacare website failed in test of 200 to 300 people that included employees from the government and insurance companies. This makes me like the president a little bit less today. Even if he didn't know this, his people knew it and they didn't tell him. Pisses me off to no end. This is really embarrassing. I supported you! I supported your ass! And you lied? Getting back to news headlines. It's unclear why Secretary of Health and Human Services Kathleen Celebus approved the launch despite the failed test. She wanted to keep her job. That's why she didn't say anything. She wants to keep her frapping job. Fire her ass. Get her out of there. I normally don't get political or personal on news stories, but this pisses me off because I have spent days and weeks supporting this thing on this program and on Facebook for years. Friendships have been destroyed. Family members have cut contacts with me over this crap. And I supported this because I knew in my gut this president is a liar. But I believed in him because I wanted this to work. Okay. During the test, I'm having Tourette's by now, by the way. During the test, which took place in late September, just weeks before launch, testers would try to create an application and the site ended up crashing just a few pages in. And they still can't fix the damn thing. Finally, New York City Council votes to raise cigarette buying age to 21. Interesting. The New York City Council passed a bill preventing anyone under the age of 21 years from buying cigarettes or e-cigarettes. If Mayor Bloomberg signs the legislation into law, it will make New York the biggest city to raise the age to 21. Bloomberg is expected to sign the bill. And I think it's a good idea, even though I know there's still going to be people under 21 getting cigarettes, watching Captain Kangaroo, and you know what I mean. But it's a good start. It's a good start. And those are the news headlines for this Thursday. Oh, the Obamacare website pisses me off. Oh, to think of the severed relationships. But if a relationship can't survive that, it wasn't meant to be. Let's take a look at the weather forecast.
Dull and dreary today. We'll have the misty moat around the castle of clouds.
And take a look at the nationwide weather forecast for today. It'll be windy and wet for Halloween for many people across the country. Starting off in the Midwest, a strengthening storm system moves from the mid-Mississippi Valley this morning through the Great Lakes tonight into southeast Canada by tomorrow. Heavy rain and thunderstorms from Missouri to Michigan with 1 to 3 inches of rain likely. Isolated 4 to 5 inches are possible. Any thunderstorm that develops could be capable of producing some strong winds, damaging wind gusts that could exceed 60 miles per hour. Thunderstorms are most likely in Indiana, South Illinois, West Kentucky, and Southeast Missouri. As the low deepens tonight, winds will also become strong and gusty throughout the Great Lakes. Sustained winds of 15 to 35 miles per hour with wind gusts over 50 miles per hour possible. Winds will remain strong around the Great Lakes through the daylight hours tomorrow, before diminishing tomorrow night. Other than some morning showers and thunder showers in Kansas, the plains should be dry today. Highs should be in the 60s to lower 70s from Michigan to the Ohio and mid-Mississippi valleys. Highs in the plains will be in the 40s and 50s in the north and 60s in Kansas. In the south, a strong Midwest storm pushes a cold front through the region today and tomorrow. Heavy showers and thunderstorms will accompany the front through the region. Severe thunderstorms producing damaging wind gusts and isolated tornadoes are possible in the lower Mississippi Valley for this Halloween. And a few of those thunderstorms could be on the severe side, especially in the Tennessee Valley and Alabama this evening. There could be some severe thunderstorms in the southeast tomorrow. Extreme rainfall occurred from the storm in eastern Texas, with 10 to 15 inches recorded near Austin. Major flooding is occurring on the creeks and rivers, with the potential for some record crest. The heavy rain should shift to the east of Austin later this morning. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches, with some areas getting up to 4 to 5 inches, are possible in the lower Mississippi Valley. Rainfall is expected to be an inch or less in the Tennessee Valley and in the southeast tonight and tomorrow. Highs today will be mostly in the 70s and 80s. Highs in the 60s will occur in northwest Texas, Oklahoma, and northern Tennessee. Rain and showers from the big Midwest storm will spill into West Virginia, northwest Virginia, western Maryland, most of Pennsylvania, New York, and central and northern New England during the day today. Rain becomes heavier tonight and tomorrow morning before moving out to the east to the sea later tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Rain is expected to be an inch or less in most areas. Winds will increase late today in western areas and shift toward the coast by tomorrow morning. Strong winds will likely occur from tomorrow into tomorrow night. Sustained wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour, with some gusts over 60 miles an hour are possible. High temperatures will reach into the 60s to lower 70s today and tomorrow. Cooler temperatures will move in behind the storm throughout the weekend. And finally out west, most of the region will see a quiet Halloween weather-wise. Rain and snow showers are likely in western Washington, northwest Oregon, far eastern Washington, northeast Oregon, central and northern Idaho, western Montana, and northwest Wyoming. A couple of inches of snow are possible in the higher mountains. Chilly highs in the 40s and 50s throughout the Intermountain West. Cooler temperatures, 50s and 60s in Washington and Oregon. Warmer temperatures, 60s and 70s in California, South Nevada, South Arizona, and South New Mexico. And that's a brief look at the weather forecast for the United States of America, which you can get 24/7 via my website by going to tinyurl.com/Gunther's House on your computer, Linux computer, Mac, or tablet computer on your smartphone at tinyurl.com/Gunther Mobile. That's good on your Android, iOS, or Windows phone. Okay? All right. Now, let's see here. Bear with me for just a few seconds as I set up the next segment. Coming up in just a few moments, we'll have celebrity birthdays today in history after take care of things like Garrison Keillor's Writer's Almanac and the composer's date book in a few seconds. And in the meantime, though, we're going to take a look at the Kirksville area weather forecast, which we'll do right now. Periods of showers today, mainly before 4 o'clock this afternoon. Temperatures holding steady to around 50 degrees. West northwesterly winds at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Wind gust up to about 20 miles an hour. And then for tonight, turning mostly clear late in the night. Lows in the upper 30s. Westerly winds at about 10 miles an hour. For tomorrow, mostly sunny. A little bit warmer. Highs in the mid-50s. West winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour, with wind gust up to 20 to 25 miles an hour. For tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies. Lows in the mid-30s. West to northwesterly winds at 10 to 15. Sunny skies Saturday. Highs in the mid-50s. Lows in the lower 30s. Northwest winds at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Again, wind gust up to about 20 miles an hour. For Sunday, a little bit warmer. Highs in the upper 50s. Lows in the mid-40s. For Monday, cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, highs in the mid to upper 50s, lows in the mid-40s. For Tuesday, a 60 to 70% chance of rain showers, highs generally in the mid-50s, lows in the mid-40s. For Wednesday, cloudy skies, a 40% chance of showers, a little bit cooler, with highs in the lower 50s. And that, my friends, is a look at the Kirksville, Missouri area weather forecast. Well, we're going to step aside, take a break, and when I come back, have Garrison Keillor's Writer's Almanac coming up for you on this Halloween. So stick around, won't you?
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car and the give up on sex, don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices and put the bogus myths to bed at bedsider.org. Brought to you by Bedsider and the Ad Council. Bedsider.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Writer's Almanac podcast is supported by the Poetry Foundation, publisher of Poetry Magazine, now available in a digital subscription for iPad and iPhone. Subscriptions at poetryfoundation.org/digitalmag.
And here is the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, the 31st of October, 2013. Halloween, All Hallows Eve, the time of people going door to door, begging for candy. If you were looking for a scary story to read out loud, you could always go to Washington Irving's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The superstitious schoolmaster, Ichabod Crane, who was chased through the roads at midnight by the ghost of a Hessian soldier whose head has been blown off by a cannonball. Or you could look at Nathaniel Hawthorne's story, Young Goodman Brown, set in Salem during the witch trials. A young Puritan newlywed sets out at sunset on an errand through the woods, leaving his new bride, whose name is Faith, behind. Into the heart of the wilderness he goes and meets a mysterious man who leads him to a witch's Sabbath, where what looks like his wife, Faith, and the rest of his neighbors are engaged in witchcraft. The next day he's back home, but he never loses his suspicion of his wife and neighbors. He has no sense of community left, and he lives in fear and suspicion to the end of his days. Or you could look at Mark Twain's story entitled A Ghost Story, which summons up the Cardiff Giant, one of the most famous hoaxes in American history, the likeness of a 10-foot man carved out of a block of gypsum exhibited in New York City. The Lincoln Highway was dedicated on this day, 1913, first automobile road across the entire continent, gravel road from Times Square in New York to Lincoln Park in San Francisco. It's the birthday of John Keats, born London, 1795, discovered literature as a teenager, devoted himself to poetry. In 1818, he took care of his brother dying of tuberculosis, and Keats contracted the disease himself, died in Rome, 1821, at the age of 25. It was on this day, 1517, Martin Luther posted his 95 Theses on a church door in Wittenberg, Germany. Martin Luther, a monk who disagreed with the church's practice of selling indulgences for the forgiveness of sins. Luther believed